Well, today is one of those days where we just kind of pause and just kind of lean back in our chairs and talk to a very good friend. Bob Gass is with us today. And of course, he is the author of the Word for You Today devotional, and many of you have just received the new edition. And it is now the second most read devotional in the world. But one of the things that Bob has also been involved in for many, many years is working in Romania with kids that in some cases come out of homes and orphanages like you just cannot imagine. And from that came the Village of Hope, which he has now been ministering there. How long, Bob? How many years with the Village of Hope?
Excuse me, but 21 years, Perry.
21 years, and you have now two facilities. Give us a little update there.
No, we've actually consolidated. It was a bit expensive to run two, and we've got one that's used to be an old communist children's hospital and lay dormant, and so it's a pretty big facility, and we took that over and developed it area by area, which was a huge undertaking. But now it's a great facility, and Village of Hope, it's called.
Right.
And it has been granted awards by EC, the European Community, 3 or 4 times for Humanitarian Workers of the Year. By the end of this year, we will have rescued 250 children.
Wow.
Some of them actually at the point of birth when they were abandoned by their birth mother in hospital, and some of them early teenagers. And some of them, their stories break your heart. Just give you an illustration because we could talk all day about it, but we had a little 4-year-old boy sold into the sex trade by a relative, thank God not his parents. Now, parents do, tragically, sell their children into the sex trade for money. I'm a parent and a grandparent, and I know you are, Perry, and you just can't even get your head around anybody who do that, but it's happening at an alarming rate across Europe, particularly Romania, where areas have 50% unemployment, and the poverty and lack of education runs deep. And they sold this little boy to a predator who took him into Germany, where he was brutalized, sodomized, victimized, and neighbors heard him crying and called the police. In the apartment they found him abandoned in, and when a child from Romania is found in another country, they'll ship him back, and then when they get to the border, the first people they call are us. And a lady called Mariana, who we've nicknamed Mother Teresa. What a winner she is. She and her team of social workers, psychologists, she's got a whole team. They'll go to the border, pick the child up, bring them back, and to the Village of Hope, where we spend the next few months rehabilitating and re-socializing them. This little 4-year-old boy's parents were going out of their mind, as you can imagine, when you lose your child. But thank God he's been, restored back. But in the case of where we can't find parents or family members we would trust a child with, we keep the child and we find foster parents. And then we guarantee those parents will support them every month. And this month, by the end of this month, we will have rescued 250 of these children. Wow. You think about that, Perry, that's one every working day. As a new one comes through our doors, another one goes. Wow. To a family where they'll have love, hope, a home, and a future. And so at this time of year, what we do is we take some of the poorest of the foster families and we buy them Christmas gifts because it's the only gifts they would get. We call it a Christmas parcel with food, clothes, winter boots, toys, a Bible storybook, candies, the sort of things that make Christmas. And this year we're doing it for 500 of the poorest of our families. And we've done it so far for about I think over half. Tommy, my assistant, he's been there often, and he just came back from a trip not long ago, and he tells me we've done this for about half the kids or a little more, and right now we need to take care of the other just under 500, about $17,000. The project, so we've half of it done, which means I need about $7,500. But to break that down, it's 3,500. I beg your pardon, 3,500. No, it's $35 for a Christmas package.
So Christmas partial is 30. All right, Christmas partial is $35. It's a present, food, clothing. Is that what it is?
Food, clothes, winter boots, and toys, candies, a Bible storybook. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's kind of what we're doing for them. And I called you because I'm short. I've already done it for half them. And, by the time we get oil money and all the extras, we put out an appeal for Christmas. We do it every year, and we've never failed to hit our goals. So you were gracious enough to say, come on, theDove.
All right, so what do you want? People could sponsor a family or a child, I should say, for $35. Should they contact you, or should they do it through us? How would you like us to handle this, Bob?
I have to do it through theDove. And Perry, is it okay if I offer as a gift to anybody who helps us?
Sure.
A 365-page book, which a lot of your folk will know because they read every day your quarterly, The Word for You Today. And this is called The Best Of. Our readers picked them, it brought the most comments, and it's called The Best of The Word for You Today, Volume 6. And for everybody who gives $35 or more to help us with these other 500 kids, we'll give you a free copy. It's just my way of saying thanks on behalf of a lot of kids who aren't here to say thanks for themselves. And no one need it, or I wouldn't ask you for it. So I'm just asking you, hey, would you pray? Maybe some of you watching could sponsor 10 kids or 5 kids, or who knows? There may be a business person who's blessed and will say, I could write a check for the whole amount. It's about $7,000 in need. Or, let God lead you. The point is, we need to do it for them.
Okay.
And as God as blessed as we can, and I'd sure appreciate it.
All right, let me just say to our viewers and listeners, what you can do is contact us here at theDove, and we'll take your name and you can give it to us, and then we'll write one check and send it to Bob, and we'll send your name and address to Bob so that you can receive that special gift back. And I can't tell you what $35 does. As Bob mentioned earlier, this is sometimes the first and only gift these children will ever receive. And when you hear these stories about how these children are rescued, I don't know how you keep doing it, Bob, and it all started from you visiting one of the orphanages many years ago.
Yeah, I was invited by a friend who'd adopted a little boy from Romania. And he said to me, would you come with me for a trip? And Debbie and I went. And we were convinced it's the one and only time we'd ever go, because we were booked for 2 or 3 years to preach, traveling an evangelistic ministry here and around the world. But what I saw just broke my heart. And then I felt God say, roll up your sleeves. You've seen it, and you are my solution. And I didn't know how long I would be there, but I'm there 21 years later. And as I say, at the end of this year, 250 more kids will have been rescued from state-run orphanages, the streets, and the sex trade, and brought to the Village of Hope. And, we can feed them, but sometimes it takes a long time for those deep emotional scars through abandonment and abuse to heal. But that's what we're involved in. Wow. And I just appreciate you letting me share the need, Perry. You guys have been so good in the past to help us with Romania when special needs came up.
And I can say this, you can go to Bob's website, bobgas.com, and you can see and read more about the Village of Hope. Let me encourage you to do that, because you'll see that it's an incredible ministry, and you've been doing it for years. And I don't think we have any idea what a winter's like in Romania, Bob.
I don't think you'd want to. I know it gets tough out there in Oregon with the rain, and you have your own weather, but last winter in Romania, they had places with 10 to 12 feet of snow. We actually had the roof on an older part of the Village of Hope cave in. And thank God it's where kids play. And thank God it was at night and there were no kids there. They were all in the dorms in bed. So the Lord was gracious. But that's how heavy the snow was. So when I say these kids need winter clothes, they sure do.
All right.
And
Real quick, recap for us. You need about $7,500 to finish off the Christmas
yeah,
gift.
we need about 7,500, and we've got between 450 and 500 kids. No. Sorry, my theology is better than my mathematics. Excuse me. We started at the goal of 500.
Okay.
We have about 260 of them. We've done it for.
Okay.
So it's that other 240.
Okay.
And if you saw me looking off, Tommy, my faithful assistant, was sitting over there, kind of reminding me, oh, that's not quite accurate.
You can do one for $35, and then I tell you what, you contact us here at the Dove. You can give us a call or come on by. We'll put it all together and send it out to Bob. Bob, thank you for what you do. Thank you for the word for you today. I can't tell you what this devotional means to so many here in Southern Oregon, let alone around the world. I'm telling you, if we are 1 second late getting the devotional out, our phones go crazy. People love it.
Well, I'm glad, Perry. That's encouraging because, right now I'm on a project to write 10 years of brand new material in advance. And I just started writing. I'm 9.5 years in.
Wow.
What I'm working on right now.
Wow.
So if you can imagine 365 days a year multiplied by 10 is 3,650 days.
Oh.
And I've probably got close to 3,000 of them written. They're not edited. There takes 15 edits on every day you read. And one edit of 90 days never lasts less than 4 to 6 hours. So,
Wow.
I mean, it's huge. But the great thing is I love it. And you know what they say, when you love what you do, it ain't work. And I was called to do it, and it's the joy of my life. So if you're enjoying it, that's my reward.
All right. Bob Gass with us, the author of The Word for You Today. And again, you can contact us here at the Dove if you want to help us with $35 for these kids. We need about another 240 kids to take care of them for Christmas there in Romania. Thank you, Bob. We'll be in touch soon.
Thanks, Perry. God bless.